Mahavishnu, also known as Purushottam or Narayana, is the supreme Godhead according to the Sanatan Dharma. He is the preserver and protector of the universe and is often depicted as a blue-skinned, four-armed man holding a conch, discus, mace, and lotus flower. According to the Sanatan Dharma, Mahavishnu created the universe and all living beings, and he maintains the cosmic order by periodically intervening in human affairs. He is also the ultimate source of all avatars or incarnations of God in Hinduism, including Rama and Krishna. Ramanujacharya, also known as Ramanuj or Ramanuj, was a Hindu theologian, philosopher and saint who lived in South India in the 11th century. He is considered one of the most important exponents of the Sri Vaishnavism tradition, a branch of Hinduism that worships Lord Vishnu as the Supreme Godhead. Ramanujacharya is known for his influential commentary on the Brahma Sutras, a key text in the Vedanta school of Hindu philosophy. He is also considered the founder of the Sri Sampradaya, one of the three main Sri Vaishnavism traditions. Ramanuj's philosophical foundation was qualified monism and is called Vishishtadvaita in the Hindu tradition. Ramanujacharya's teachings emphasized the importance of devotion, bhakti, to God as the path to liberation and emphasized the idea of a personal Godhead and the concept of prapatti, or surrender to God. He also advocated for the equality of all souls and rejected the caste system, which was prevalent in his time. Ramanujacharya's ideas and teachings greatly influenced the development of Sri Vaishnavism and continue to be studied and followed by many people today. Ramanand Swami was born as Ram Sharma in the Vikram Samvat year 1795 on Shravan Vad 8 in Ayodhya. Ram Sharma's parents were proper devotees of Sri Krishna. In young age, Ram Sharma was full of dharma, jnana and vairagya. As he grew older, he got the strength to get himself detached to the family ties. He left home at a very young age and started his pilgrimage in search of a guru in order to have darshan of Lord Krishna. He met Atmanand Swami who initiated him and called him Ramanand Swami. Atmanand Swami believed in formless, God is light only. Ramanand Swami could not bear this and left his guru. He walked down south of India and came to Sriranga. He studied Ramanujacharya's holy books and became a devoted disciple. Ramanujacharya gave Ramanand Swami his divine vision in trance where he had the darshan of Lord Supreme. He started preaching about bhakti, dharam, jnana and vairagya. Devotees of Ramanujacharya did not like this, so Ramanand Swami had to leave. He walked to the north and came to Vrindavan. Here he continued his preaching. Lord Krishna gave him divya, divine, darshan and reminded him that he was Uddhavji in his previous life and that he should now spread the knowledge that he has passed to him. Lord Krishna initiated him again and he started a separate sampradaya called Uddhav Sampradaya from Ramanujacharya but following the same tenets of Ramanujacharya Sampradaya. Uddhav Sampradaya flourished and many devotees and sadhus started joining this sampradaya. Many devotees and sadhus treated Ramanand Swami as a true guru who would teach them and help them seek salvation. There were several sadhus and one of the important ones was Muktanand Swami. When Nilkant Varni came to lodge and met Muktanand Swami, Muktanand Swami told Nilkant Varni about the glory of Ramanand Swami. Nilkant Varni remembered that Ramanand Swami had actually given Diksha to his parents. Nilkant Varni wanted to meet Ramanand Swami, so he wrote a letter. Muktanand Swami also wrote another letter. Two letters were taken by Mayaram Bhatt to Bhuj at Gangaram Mal's house where Ramanand Swami was residing. When Ramanand Swami started to read the letter, bright light started emanating from it. Ramanand Swami wrote two letters back to Lodge. Muktanand Swami read his letter and Nilkant Varni read his letter. In the meantime, Nilkant Varni was teaching yoga, learned from Gopal Yogi, to other saints. Time passed but nothing was heard from Ramanand Swami. Nilkant Varni was growing impatient and said he will go to see Ramanand Swami. Muktanand Swami requested him to stay for a little while. Ramanand Swami arrived at Piplana and stayed at Narshi Mehta's house. A message was sent to Nilkant Varni and Muktanand Swami, and they started towards Piplana along Taraj and Parbatbhai. On the way there was a river which was overflowing. Somehow everybody managed to cross it. Nilkant Varni met Ramanand Swami at Piplana on verses 1856 wait. Nilkant Varni did Danvat of Ramanand Swami. Ramanand Swami sat Nilkant Varni next to him along with Muktanand Swami. Nilkant Varni started serving Ramanand Swami. On verses 1857 Kartik Sud 11 Wednesday, Prabodhini Ekadashi, Ramanand Swami gave Mahadiksha to Nilkant Varni. He was given the name of Sahajanand Swami and Narayan Muni. Ramanand Swami gave him Acharyaship at Jetpur on verses 1858 Kartik Sud 11 Monday. Nilkant Varni was only 20 years, 7 months old. After a couple of months, Ramanand Swami knew he had to leave this world. He called all his disciples at Faneni town and instructed everyone, "You have been obeying me. I am Uddhavji Avatar, but this Sri Sahajanand Swami is the Supreme God, Purna Purushottam Narayan himself. You should now serve him obediently and give single-minded devotion if you wish to acquire ultimate salvation. My work is now over." There was a big festival, and on the 12th day Ramanand Swami gave food to many saints and Brahmins. On 13th day in the morning Ramanand Swami took a bath in Chacha river and sat in the temple doing meditation and left this world chanting Lord Swaminarayan's name. He left this world on 13th day of Magshar, Sud Thursday 1858, 17-12, 1801 AD, thus released from Durvasha's curse. Sri Sahajanand Swami and the followers performed death rites of the Guru till the 13th day. We all follow rituals and manner in which they are performed as per Ramanand Swami I Ramanujacharya. Also Shikshapatri instructs us to do this. Ramanand Swami had powers to put his devotees in Samadhi and give them vision of Lord Supreme. Lord Sri Swaminarayan was born to a Samvedi Brahman family on 9th day of bright half of the month Chaitra of Vikram Samvat 1837, 3rd April 1781, in a small village called Chapaya near Ayodhya, UP, India. His father's name was Dharmadev and his mother's name was Bhakti Mata. In the tender age of 7 years only, he learned all the religious scriptures including Vedas from his father and became victorious in a conference of scholars held in Kashi. After serving his parents, at the age of 11 only, he left village Chapaya and proceeded alone towards the forests in the north. Lord Sri Swaminarayan came to Gujarat at the age of 18 and extended his work of spreading true religion. He propagated Uddhav, Swaminarayan, doctrine popularly known as Vishishtadvait. At age 21, he established Swaminarayan Sampradaya with the blessings of his Guru Sadguru Ramanand Swami. He initiated more than 1500 saints to spread the pious Sampradaya. To achieve ultimate redemption, he taught the Swaminarayan Mahamantra. To preserve the purity in the religion, he devised 5 basic codes of conducts for Haribhakta devotee, like not to steal, not to eat meat, not to drink, not to commit adultery, not to follow impurity, and for Tyagi saints, like Nishkam, lustless, Nirlobh, greedless, Nissingha, attachmentless, Niswad, tasteless, and Nirman, egoless. He established beautiful temples at Ahmedabad, Bhuj, Vadtal, Dholera, Junagadh, Gadpur for Upasana, worshipping God in all His greatness and glory and bhakti devotion. With all these, he gave a small but huge code of conducts with only 212 verses, the Shikshapatri, and the nectar of spiritual discourses performed by Bhagwan Swaminarayan, the Vachanamritam. Thus, in a short span of 49 years, he revived Hinduism, glorified spiritual values, and founded the Swaminarayan faith and left for his divine abode, Akshardham. Mahatma Gandhiji has opined, in India, there are so many religious sects, but the Swaminarayan sect is praiseworthy, pious, pure and attractive. I have a very high regard for this sect. The great follower of Mahatma Gandhi and a well-known thinker Sri Kishorilal Mashruwala has said about Lord Sri Swaminarayan, with his divine light, he enlightened the hearts of several people, took away the bad habits and vices of backward people, included non-Hindus in Hindu religion, encouraged the literature, music and arts, promoted non-violent yagnas, directed the way of pure devotion and divine knowledge. He was the tutor of Bhagavad Dharma and the preacher of the principles of Vyasji. Gunatit Tradition. The Paramhansas of Lord Swaminarayan were the noblest sadhus the world will ever see. Their spiritual purity, sacrifice, selflessness, devotion and zeal to uphold goodness is incomparable. Their life was their message. The saints of our Gunatit Parampara was such that their life was inspiring thousands of peoples. This section brings you the brief life of these holy saints. Our Guruparampara. Sadguru Sri Guntitanand Swami, known as Akshar Brahm, was a prominent saint who has given the most valuable contribution for the widespread of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya, Holy Fellowship. He was born at Bhadra in Saurashtra on the full moon day of the month of Aso in the SY 1841. His name was Muljibhai. From the childhood he had a divine vision, and he could see with his inner eyes what Ghanshyam, Bhagwan Swaminarayan, was doing in his childhood at Chapaya, far away in UP. On account of this, he could see the thread ceremony of Ghanshyam on the very day, and he described the same before the family. Thus he had divine vision, and he could have the holy sight of Bhagwan Swaminarayan occasionally. Once after getting divine holy sight of Bhagwan Swaminarayan and inspiration, he left worldly attachments and renounced home in the SY 1865, and he was given initiation as a saint by Bhagwan Sri Swaminarayan in the SY 1866. He was possessing all saintly virtues. He was living very simple but highly spiritual and serviceful life. Bhagwan Swaminarayan was highly pleased on him on account of his ever readiness to serve the sick saints and thus setting up an ideal example for the same. He passed about 40 years in Junagadh as the Mahant, head of the Swaminarayan temple. On this status also, he used to render services even for sweeping and assisting with construction work in the temple. Though he was not educated, he used to give preaching for hours on high philosophy in a very simple, practical, and impressive way that all were spellbound. Through his talks, There was a change of heart even in wicked persons, and they were inspired to lead a noble life. The book Swami Niveto regarding his preachings is an eternal remembrance of Swamiji, which is inspiring and guiding many on the path of salvation. By his blessings, disturbing worldly desires were subjugated. Even the sense of taste and passion was controlled immediately. He left his physical body at Gondal in the S.Y. 1923. Independently, sitting in the Padmasan pose, after announcing in advance, Sadguru Shri Balmukundas Ji Swami. The disciple of Sadguru Guntitanand Swami was also a powerful saint, having extraordinary divinity. He was born in the village in Saurashtra on the 3rd day of Chaitra in the SY 1887. His name was Chaturbhai. From childhood, he had an inclination toward devotion to God. Coming in contact with Guntitanand Swami, there was the inner inspiration to renounce the home. Soon after his initiation as a saint in SY 1909, Yogiraj Gopal Swami blessed him and forecasted that he would be highly powerful to shoulder the services of Sampradaya. Acharya Maharaj Shri of Vadtal had high regard for Swamiji on account of his extraordinary caliber. He had undergone severe penance and was strictly following the code of conduct for saints as shown by Bhagwan Swaminarayan. He had unshakable faith in Bhagwan Swaminarayan as the Supreme Lord. This realized saint had the divine holy sight of Bhagwan Swaminarayan many times. He was a Vachan Siddh saint, and so whatever he said out of inner inspiration actually happened. He had removed the distress of many devotees. He was preaching all to worship God, becoming Brahmswarup, considering the soul separate from the physical body. Through his blessings, many were rid of worldly desires, and by chanting the name of Swaminarayan in his presence, before God, many could leave physical bodies on the spot, attain final salvation, and miraculously go to the divine abode of God. This great saint forecasted the day and time of his departure from this world, and accordingly, he left for Akshardham in the SY 1972 at Junagadh. Sadguru Swami Narayan Das Ji was an ideal saint, active for the serviceful activities of holy fellowship, passive for worldly affairs, and ever eager to listen to the holy scriptures. He was born in the village Vankia on the 10th day of bright half of the month of Chaitra in VS 1906. His name was Arjan Bhai. Arjan Bhai was blessed with pleasure by Sadguru Guntitanand Swami when he met him at Bagsara for the first time. He gave services during construction work in Junagadh temple. The talks of Guntitanand Swami awakened him, and the hidden seeds of Vairagya, non-attachment, grew in his mind. After some time he came to Junagadh, and Balmukundas Ji Swami got him initiated as saint. As the Mahant, head of the Junagadh temple, he had carried out many additions and alterations in the holy buildings like the Assembly Hall, Narayandas Haveli, constructed by him, reminds us of his beneficial services. Similarly, in Gondal temple also he had helped for such constructions. There are many incidents regarding fulfillment of blessings given by him, and he had inspired many and directed them on spiritual path. Though he had no formal education, but he had encouraged many saints like Swami Dharmajivandas Ji for higher Sanskrit studies. He had listened many religious scriptures from Shastri Swami Dharmajivandas Ji and got highly pleased, and had heartily blessed him. This realized saint left for Akshardham, God's abode, in the VS 1983 at Rajkot. Sadguru Shri Dharmaswarup Das Ji Swami. He was a very kind-hearted saint, who was able to visualize God continuously all the time. He was born in the village Motago Kharwada in Saurashtra, and his name was Arjanbhai. From childhood, he liked to remain in contact with saints. As he did not like worldly life, hence one day he left home and went to Junagadh temple. His father did not like this, so he punished and brought him back and locked him, but on the next day miraculously God put him in Junagadh temple. He was a very kind-hearted saint who was able to visualize God continuously all the time. He was born in the village Motago Kharwada in Saurashtra, and his name was Arjanbhai. From childhood, he liked to remain in contact with saints. As he did not like worldly life, hence one day he left home and went to Junagadh temple. His father did not like this, so he punished and brought him back and locked him, but on the next day miraculously God put him in Junagadh temple. Sadguru Guntitanand Swami, highly pleased by his serviceful nature, non-attachment and aptitude for devotion, blessed him. Sadguru Guntitanand Swami entrusted him to Swami Balmukundas Ji, who got him initiated as a saint. He used to warn the devotees against the difficulties and saved them from the same. He constructed many new temples. He finally decided to go to Akshardhama, God's abode, after completing the reading of the holy scripture Vachanamritam. Sadguru Shri Gopinath Das Ji Swami. Purani Swami Gopinath Das Ji was possessing remarkable virtues, who has rendered noteworthy services for the Sampradaya, holy fellowship. He was born in the village of Vankia in Saurashtra in the SY 1920. His name was Govindabhai. After the contact with Swami Balmukundas Ji in Vankia temple, he left home and got the initiation of a saint under the care of Swami Dharmswarup Das Ji in the SY 1934. He was a well-earned Sanskrit scholar with practical wisdom. Adbhutanand Swami had blessed him that he would become prominent amongst the learned persons. Accordingly, his contribution to proving Swaminarayan Sampradaya as Vedic in the conference of Panditas at Kashi in the SY 1964 was highly praiseworthy. In the recital, parayans, of the religious scriptures, he was describing every event very lucidly and explained the gist in a sweet tone, simple words, and an interesting manner, as a result of which a number of people were eagerly attracted to hear him. As per the desire of Balmukundas Ji Swami, under his instructions, temples at Jetpur and other places were constructed, and many were renovated. Services for some necessities in Junagadh temple were rendered by him. In Gondal temple and Aksharderi etc., he had done new construction works. He had put into practice the sermons of Bhagwan Swaminarayan, with the knowledge of his greatness. He was very kind-hearted, and by his blessings, the desires of many were fulfilled. Once he sat chanting the names of Bhagwan Swaminarayan with firm determination, and he had his actual holy sight. When he left his physical body in the SY 1974 at Gondal, some saints witnessed his miraculous passing away from the world along with Lord Swaminarayan. Sadguru Shastriji Maharaj Shri Dharmajivandas Ji Swami. The Gurushishya tradition is the unique feature of Sanatana Dharma, otherwise known as Hinduism. The knowledge, capacity, virtues, ideologies, values, and objectives of life are directly received by the disciple from the Guru in a practical, personal and vibrant manner. The vision of Guru becomes the life and mission of Shishya. In such a divine lineage of Guruparampara of the Swaminarayan sect, appeared Kshatriji Maharaj Shri Dharmajivandas Ji Swami, a great versatile scholar and man of vision, a tough-minded optimist and kind-hearted Guru, a staunch advocate of karma and bhakti yoga and considered to be the saint of the century by thousands of people of Gujarat. He founded the first Swaminarayan Gurukul at Rajkot in the year 1948 with the intention of providing a value-based education system to one all, especially the poor ones. Purani Swami Prema Prakashdas Ji was like the living form of love and affection. He had love for God and affection for everybody. He was enlightening the path towards God and thus literally justifying his name, Prema Prakashdas Ji. He was always cheerful, kind and transparent-hearted pious saint. He was born in the village Khadkhad, Ta. Jitpur, and left home at the age of 7 years, and later on he was got initiated as a saint by Purani Swami Shri Keshapriyadas Ji. He had also received hearty blessings of Mahant Swami Shri Krishnaji Vandas Ji. He came in touch with Puja Shastri Maharaj Sridharmaji Vandas Ji and joined the group of saints of Shastri Swami in about S.Y. 2000. He was a simple and serviceful saint with sober nature and saintly virtues. From the beginning of Rajkot Gurukul, he firmly and sincerely stood by Shastri Maharaj. He suffered insults from narrow-minded persons, still he never opposed but silently tolerated. He was taking care of all the students of Rajkot Gurukul as the superintendent of the boarding and was treating them with patron saintly. Hence the students had always revved high regards for him. He was giving medicines to the students and also serving them with smile during their sickness. He cultivated good virtues in the students and by constant care molded their character. This was his greatest contribution in fulfillment of the aim of the Gurukul. He was a very impressive orator. He was talking about the supremacy of Bhagwan Swaminarayan in such a spiritful way, narrating the specialties of his incarnation, that it filled the hearts of the listeners with firm faith in Bhagwan Swaminarayan. By his preaching many persons had left addictions and vices. He did not like writing himself, but he dictated many events of Bhagwan Swaminarayan, saints and devotees in monthly Sadvidya, which have been subsequently published as books, namely Satsang stories. He has a special style of description of any event in such a natural way that actual picture of the events is portrayed before the listener or the reader. He left the physical body in the VS 2041, 1985, and the Holy Fellowship lost a lively, impressive orator, preacher and writer. Puja Jogi Swami Hari Prakashdas Ji is endowed with all saintly virtues and blessed with high spiritual power. This realized saint was born at Bhadra, district Jamnagar, in V.S. 1966 in the Bhandari family. He was named as Devji. From the age of 5, he was going to Bhadra temple, and during childhood he was thinking to leave worldly attachments and to join Tyagashram. Devji Bhagat came in contact with Rev. Mahant Swami Krishnajivan Das Ji when he visited to Bhadra. Mahant Swami could see the hidden abilities of Devji Bhagat, and therefore he was taking keen interest in him and taking him to nearby villages along with him. Once Devji Bhagat had gone to Gondal, when Mahant Swami was there. He decided not to return to home and stayed over there in the temple, for which he was craving since long. He was given initiation as a saint in VS 2001 and was named Hari Prakashdas Ji. He used to undergo penance and observed fasts, different vratas, many a times. Though he was not literate, he was able to read Shikshapatri. After passing away of Mahant Swami, he stayed with Shastriji Maharaj in Rajkot Gurukul. Here he liked the religious atmosphere. Shastriji Maharaj also knew about his high spiritual achievement and was pleased by his devotional life. He passes most of his time in meditation, chanting God's names with a rosary and hearing Vachnamurtins, which he likes the most. Though he has not formal education and could not read Vachnamurtins, he can recite reference of Vachnamurtins by God's grace. He is a very kind-hearted saint and solved distress of many people by God's grace. Whatever he blesses from inner inspiration comes true. By his inspiration many temples have been built in the villages by Rajkot Gurukul. On his call many have left bad addictions and have joined holy fellowship. Sri Alexander, the Ho-Chancellor of South Carolina University Aiken of America, said after his experience regarding Swamiji that Jogi Swami can make unbelievable things possible by his spiritual power. Sadguru Varya Shri Devkarishnadas Ji Swami. Pujya Guruvarya Shri Devakrishnas Ji Swami is an embodiment of Vairagya. Swami was born Devjibhai Kaila in the Vejlapur village to parents Jawarbhai and Parvatibin Kaila. In the year 1960, he was admitted to the Gurukul for his schooling, during which time he developed an affection for Pujya Shastriji Maharaj and the Gurukul. After completing his BA, he took Bhagavati Diksha, initiation, from Acharya Shri Narendra Prasad Ji Maharaj of the Lakshminarayan Dev Gadi of Vadkal in the year 1965. In the year 1974, when Shastriji Maharaj's health deteriorated a little, he handed the responsibilities of the Gurukul to Pujya Guru Maharaj amongst his 60 disciple sons. Guru Maharaj is a strong admirer of traditional value systems and the spiritual heritage of Hinduism. Being attracted to serving animals, he has organized more than 100 veterinary medical camps. Being an ardent supporter of environmental care, he has personally participated in many tree planting ceremonies and encourages everyone to plant more trees. Along with his spiritual practices, he has got a keen interest in all sorts of social welfare activities of the Gurukul. Swami can be seen reading scriptures and doing mantralekhan when not engaged in Gurukul's activities. Pujya Swamiji currently oversees all the educational, social and religious activities of Sri Swaminarayan Gurukul Rajkot and its branches in India, USA, UK, Canada, Africa and the Dominican Republic.